Isaiah 19 and 3. I am going to frustrate the plans of the Egyptians and destroy their morale. They will ask their idols to help them, and they will go and consult mediums and ask the spirits of the dead for advice.
But it ain't gonna work for them.
No.
You're not gonna be able to conjure up no spirits.
Hey, bro, one second.
There's really nothing you can do to repair Babylon. Babylon is on its way out. But people are going to seek to these false idols and different things for consultation, and it's just going to be a fail. Because it's the Lord operating on this place. Ain't going to be no gatherings. You know, let's do one big national prayer for America to bounce back. Right. No. Right. Ain't no way.
Yeah. Hey.
This place is done for.
Yeah.
Hey, boss.
All right.
Boss.
The inception of this place was built on sin and iniquity.
No.
So now it's getting ready to be paid for all of his sins. And
right.
The Lord have remembered her iniquities. Yeah. They have reached unto heaven.
Sins against these people.
How much can you pay?
It's all right. Thank you. Straight up.
Honestly.
So when you read this chapter, this is like the Lord pretty much. He's sending that spirit in the midst of this society to cause it to crumble.
Right.
The Lord is breaking this place down.
Keep reading. Speaking on Egypt, do research on ancient Egypt. They also broke out in civil war. So you had upper Egypt and you had lower Egypt. You know, fighting over the Nile and shit. You know, because the Nile was used for imports, exports. Yep. All right. He said, "I will." Verse 4. I will hand the Egyptians over to a tyrant, to a cruel king who will rule them. I, the Lord Almighty, have spoken.
Nobody ever spoke about my.
The water will be low in the Nile, and the river will gradually dry up. The channels of the river will stink as they slowly grow dry.
Do not share about it.
Read.
Excuse me, bro. Look at all the shit on this sweater.
This bell. I'll bring this demon back up here.
It's like them demons. I always say that demons don't never travel by themselves. They accompany each other. That's a shame that the Edomite demon was like, let me give y'all something. Right. And Jake
the nigga, man.
Over here being a true demon. Anyway, go ahead.
Verse 5. I'll read verse 4. I will hand the Egyptians over to a tyrant, to a cruel king who will rule them. I, the Lord Almighty, have spoken.
What's going to constitute that? Basically, when things get so chaotic and out of hand here, that they're going to have to bring some sort of regulation.
Yeah.
They're going to have to pretty much secure everything, because everything is going to be out of control, chaotic. Because of the state of the people. Reading 3 verses up, people are fighting against each. Cities is taking over other cities. You know, inside fighting, government.
Yep.
Attempt of overthrowing the government. All that's going to be taking place. Yeah. So that's going to give the current Caesar or president the jurisdiction to be able to enforce his legislative power.
In that movie, that was the issue why they came after the president, because they said he used military force against the people.
Right.
So we see that happening. It's going to happen in these times. They're going to use lethal force. It's not going to be crowd control. It ain't going to be like, okay, move, go home. They just going to start letting off, you know? And when they get outnumbered, what they didn't show in the movie, they're going to bring in the robots, the drones, all right? They're going to use the, what are them weapons called? Microwave guns, those weapons that are audible, where they, what is that shit where they showed it in Leave the World Behind, where they make those loud noises that can basically paralyze you. Microwave guns. They're going to use these various different weapons that they have at the, you know, on you people, on the American people, and that's not going to. It's going to push some of them into submission, but a lot of them is going to rouse them up even more.
Yeah, and Esau right now, he's at the point where he realizes there's all this marching and protesting and all that.
Yeah.
See, Jake, they do that all day. Because Jake, they realize that they don't really have any power. All they can really do is march and protest and cry for handouts or beg for justice.
Yeah.
But Esau, he still knows that he has a bit of sense, and he also has that sword.
Yeah.
So he's gonna try to attempt to put up a fight.
Didn't they do that in Michigan a few years back when they went to the Capitol building and some shit? A bunch of Edomites had guns, and those Edomites with the guns going to outnumber whatever security, whatever police, and eventually they're going to have to do what? Call in the National Guards, call in some type of military force to attempt to reestablish some order.
Remember months ago they were reporting that there were a lot of servicemen who were that pretty much don't hold the views of the status quo. They were basically being considered as men that would be capable of overthrowing the government.
Yeah, kind of deeming like terrorists.
Yeah. So if you got that effect going on within your own military, and then you're also having issues with recruits, nobody wants to join your military, then that should already let you know the atmosphere. See?
I don't know if brother seen it. Was a video where I think it was an Army and Marines or some shit, and he refused to get the jab.
Yeah.
And they basically took him, put him in the cell, and they took him out and handcuffed him. He was like in his bunk. They took him out, handcuffed him and shit, and they deemed him as a terrorist, a threat to whatever. But that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know? And he was in the fucking military.
Yeah, if you in the military and you subscribing to content on the internet that suggests misinformation, extreme information, extreme views or conspiracy theorists, then they already got you in that category.
Well, a lot of people that believe in that, conspiracy theories and stuff, they're gonna side with the opposing government that's trying to take over, the presidency, DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be on the other side, fight. That's where we get that civil war.
Okay.
And like with that dude, he left. He came from Florida and went all the way up to New York, and he had some pamphlets in his hand, and he just started throwing them all over the place. And I guess in that pamphlet, it was basically condemning all the multi-billionaires that pretty much have their stake in these different corporations and governments. And basically he was trying to expose that aspect of it. Like basically this country is being overran by a bunch of greedy, super rich elite.
Yeah.
But they called him a conspiracy theorist.
Crazy.
But he went out there and he did that, and then he pretty much doused himself with a bunch of flannel boots.
Yeah.
And then he lit himself aflame. He set himself ablaze right in front of the courthouse where the trial is going on, the Trump trial. So that was pretty much the sin of mystery. Even though they was real bugged out, he's willing to crash out at this point.
Yeah.
He's the real extremist.
Yeah.
They're willing to go that. They're willing to do whatever.
And before that, it was the dude in the military that said, "I'm not going for this."
Yeah,
I don't
he
agree
set
with
himself
this.
on fire.
Bombing these innocent people.
Yeah.
And he said, "This is I forget exactly what he said. He's like, this is he's showing that he's serious."
Hey, in the movie, you had Edomite suicide bomber.
Yeah.
Beginning of the movie, they had the flag running, they had the backpack with the bomb, blew everybody up.
Yeah.
So you're gonna start seeing more of that as that whole Civil War energy increases.
Okay.
That spirit's
You
out
don't
there.
see it's out there, man. It's getting stirred up. You know, and that same dude, before he went and did that, he had several. He made several videos, and he had his what do they call it? Memos.
Yeah, the
How do you talk about
But he pretty much had a memo.
Manifesto.
Manifesto. He had a manifesto.
I was thinking.
But there was a video where he was basically singing a chant, and he was basically saying the words went, "It's time to," he said star the motherfucking, what did he say? Damn. He was basically saying start a fucking revolution. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
He was basically saying start a motherfucking revolution. He kept saying it. You know?
Well, that dude that showed his father's head on the camera
Yeah, okay.
for being a traitor.
Yeah.
He called for a civil, for an uprising against the federal government.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's extreme, man.
Yeah.
That's real extreme.
Imagine that. Start a fucking revolution. Start a fucking bro. When I saw that video and then he went out and did what he did,
Yeah.
I think that lit something under a lot of these Edomites that's feeling the same way he's feeling.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And then there was another Edomite that pretty much, he went on TikTok and said the same shit. It's time to stand up. We have our rights. While we still have our rights, it's time to stand up. It's time to start a revolution. I'm like, yo. Hey. But this is Esau.
Exactly.
He's supposed to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Esau, he's supposed to be feeling the way he's feeling. Because he's taking nothing but L's, especially since Biden got in there. They feel it cut out of their own kingdom right now. You're giving all these rights to these gays, you're giving all our money overseas to Ukraine and Israel, and then you're opening up our borders and you replacing your citizens with civilians, with immigrants from over 160 countries.
right.
And then on top of that, you got a bunch of families in the country that are employees. They're working, but they don't qualify for benefits, but they can't pay certain bills.
Yeah. That's what's gonna have to take. It's gonna have to get really, really fucking bad out here. Squeeze. Like they're gonna have to. And really, I think it's gonna start with the food.
It has to.
It has to start with the food because that's something that everyone needs.
Yeah.
You know, hey, say your car broke down, you can get a bike, you can walk to work, but you gotta eat. You gotta get. You need water. So these are the basic necessities that you need because we know insurance is going up like crazy. We know utilities are going up like crazy. Somehow, some way, Jay still find a way to pay it, whether they buy through a credit card or whatever. But when your food becomes scarce and your food is going up, that's when Jake is going to be up in arms, like, hey, what the fuck is going on? That's when Jake is going to have that attitude like Esau, you know. And of course, it's going to come with a cost because a lot of Jakes out there are going to get fucked up. But that's prophecy, you know. But the Edomites have the right. They have the right mind state, you know. But the shit gonna have to get bad out here for people to really wake up and have that same attitude like Esau, man.
Yeah.
Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? And part of that kindling of that fire is all of the vision that the Lord is stirring up.
Yeah.
Like what brothers pointed out in that movie Civil War, you didn't know what side was what. It wasn't just two sides.
Exactly.
It was multiple sides.
Exactly.
You know, that's what added to that division because you never know what side somebody's on.
I want to know what side was the one Edomite that said, what you marrying on you?
Yeah.
Oh, he was definitely red on the red side.
He was on the red side, right?
Red side.
But was he? Yeah, I don't know. Because remember the ones that were.
Because he was asking them what states that they was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And if you named the wrong state,
Yeah.
he It's done.
Yeah, if you named a different country,